Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM. Of course, out here at Port Melbourne in particular. Of course, let's turn our attention now to music side of things. And I had an honour to watch this amazing music artist perform the national anthem at the recent NBL match between Phoenix and United in the Throwdown. Of course, she did an awesome performance rendition of the anthem. Of course, her name is Maddie. She joins us now. Thanks, Maddie, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Will. I'm very excited to be with you.
No worries. Well, firstly, tell us a bit about your amazing 2023 year.
Gosh, it's been a big year. I started off strong with a headline performance at Crown Casino at Electric Dreams, which was really cool. I got to have my dancers with me, and it was just a great night, great way to start the year. Of course, I did a few NBL anthem performances, which thank you for your kind words before. They're always lots of fun to do, so I love getting to do those. But of course, the season comes to an end eventually. So I then got to go on a trip to Japan and South Korea to do some songwriting with my publishing company, Cora Music Group, which was really cool. So I got to spend 2 weeks overseas writing with some very big people, and I got to meet some of our partners like Warner Music and Hi-Hat Publishing and some really exciting things. So I got to do that, and then when I came home, I released a single with DJ DLE, and he's a producer as well, of course. The song was called This Part, and we put it out in May, I believe, and it peaked at number 7 on the ARIA Top 50 Club Track charts, which was very cool. I've never made it onto the ARIA charts before in any capacity, so that was a real big milestone for me to reach this year. So yeah, that one's called This Part. It's very cool. I'm very happy about that one. It's like a house version of the Pussycat Doll song called I Hate This Part. So it's a song everyone would already know, but it's just a different version. But yeah, so that happened, and then I recently performed at the Miss Universe Australia national final, which was a really full circle moment for me because I was a national finalist in 2021. So for me, it was it was a really cool moment to get to perform on the stage as an artist and what I do best, rather than a contestant. So yeah, that was my year so far.
You mentioned about going to the beautiful part of Asia in Japan and Korea to do your songs side of things. Tell us a bit about that, and especially the experience of going over to Japan and Korea.
Well, I've never been to either country before, and they're both two places that have been on my bucket list for a very long time. And when my publishing company said that they would be sponsoring a trip to go and write with some of our partners, I jumped at the opportunity and I pushed everything else aside and I said, I have to go. So I did. I went all alone as my first solo international trip as well. So a lot of first time things happening this year, which is funny. But it was a very exciting thing to be a part of. I feel really lucky that I got to go overseas and write with so many important people and meet so many important people. I feel like it's the first few steps in really building my career as a songwriter, aside from just being the artist, and hopefully securing some cuts in Asia, anywhere, any country in Asia really, which will be really great for my artistry. So yeah.
You mentioned about you mentioned about your single that you released early this year, which made it to the top 10 in the ARIA's board. I guess, what did that mean to you, and has that synced in?
Oh gosh, having a song that reaches something like the ARIA charts is always a dream that most artists would probably have, to be recognized for the work that they do, and to just know that because so many people are listening, it means that it's making it onto charts like the ARIA charts. it's a pretty exciting thing. And I guess I did cry a little bit. I was very excited. I was very happy that I could say that I've been on the ARIA charts, and it might not be the top 50 singles in general, but the fact that it's the top 50 club tracks chart, I think is really cool. And it means that I'm connecting with people that are in, you know, my target audience and the people that I really want to connect with the most, and I want them to hear me. So I felt like I was being heard, and that was a really nice feeling.
Also, you mentioned that you've performed in the Miss Australia contest as well, which you mentioned that you were contesting in 2021 and obviously were the finalists. How did that all come about? That obviously approached you 2 years later to do the performance.
Yeah, so the people who own Miss Universe Australia, the lovely directors, the Barbagellos, Troy and Sophia, I created quite a good bond with them, and I've always felt like I had a good connection with them, and I've seen them many a time since I finished being a contestant, and they've been very hospitable and lovely, and they've taken me to so many different events, and they've always been very open and warm to me. So they contacted me and they were like, I think this is finally the chance to get you to perform. We've had this conversation a million times. Troy in particular was like, we need you to perform, we need you to perform. And I've always said yes, 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 but obviously the opportunity just never came about. But this year it did, and it was really cool to be able to do that, especially because even though I was a national finalist, I was a national finalist in 2021, and that was a year where we were in lockdown and there wasn't quite a national final like they had this year. So I never got to walk on a stage in the dresses and do any of that stuff. I filmed it all at home in my living room. I moved all the couches aside, and it was quite hilarious in all honesty. But you do what you got to do.
That's right.
So the fact that they, you know, gave me the opportunity to be a part of it in a different way and get to experience that was really cool. So I'm really grateful for that.
I got to meet you at the Throwdown, which was the Phoenix home game between Phoenix and Melbourne United. So how did that come about? And are you doing any more NBL performance for our Melbourne listeners?
Well, it's funny you asked that, because I have no idea when this is going to be given to people so they can listen to it. However, on Saturday, the 2nd of December, I will be doing a very exciting halftime show, which is really cool. I believe that is between Southeast Phoenix and I think a team from New Zealand.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Yes. So, you know, if anyone from Melbourne or anywhere wants to come down and watch, you will have a lot of entertainment for yourselves. I will be performing with JC as well. He's a rapper from Perth. Which is really cool. So we're doing like a Super Bowl type performance. It's going to be really, really exciting. So you don't want to miss it. But in terms of how performing at the NBL came about, I met a few people here and there, and I just, you know, music is all about connection. So I had connections, and eventually the opportunity came up to do an anthem back at the end of 2021. So I've been doing these for quite a while now, which time flies. And yeah, I've just kept doing them. The Phoenix and United have been really awesome and have always given the opportunity to myself and a few other people, but a lot to me. So it's been really great. So yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, because I'll be at that game on Saturday. And of course I'll actually be I'll be on courtside, sitting on courtside. So that's going to be fantastic.
Best seat in the house. There you go.
looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to going there on Saturday. For you, how did music come about?
Oh gosh, I guess that's a bit of a long story, but if I am to surmise it a bit shorter and, you know, not bore anybody, I just had a natural inclination to music from when I was young. I started dancing when I was 4, little 4-year-old, and I kept that up. And along the way, I started singing in the bathroom, and I was very stage shy, and I didn't want to get in front of anyone, and I didn't want to go to singing classes. And eventually I got thrown into vocal classes when I was 9, and since then I've been singing my heart out. And I started writing songs when I was 13. And since then I've written and released almost 10 songs, I think. But I've written a lot more that aren't released as well. So like so many more. Last year I released my debut EP called Homemade Remedy, which was really cool. And that's 5 tracks that I co-produced and wrote with a few people. So I was very proud of that project. And I've had a lot of opportunities to show off that work now, some at the Miss Universe Australia final and a few other opportunities to perform live. So yeah, I've just been in music my whole life, and now I teach singing as well, and I pass on everything that I've learned, and I continue to chase my dream.
Fantastic segue to my next question. You just mentioned about chasing your dream. What is that dream?
Oh my gosh, it's funny you say that, because when I've thought about this a million times, I feel as though it's hard to narrow down the dream. But I think the more that I've, because growing up, you have to make money, and music isn't always an industry where you can make money, especially at the start. And I've thought about my future in music, and there's so many different things that I can do, but I think my heart really calls to performing and writing music. And I do love teaching. I love my littlies. I love seeing them happy and enjoying singing, How to Build a Snowman and all of the classics. And it's very fun for me to be able to pass on my knowledge. So I guess the big dream is, of course, to be on all the big stages and to be successful in music. And I think in general, it is just to be successful in music, and whatever that means, if that's teaching, or if that's being a producer, or if that's, being a producer, or whatever it is, I just would love to keep myself in music and be successful in it.
What does music mean to you now?
Means everything to me. Music is it's my release, it's my therapy, it's something that I cannot go a single day without. It dictates my mood. In fact, if I don't have a good song on whilst I'm walking, I get a bit annoyed, and I'm like, I don't really want to walk anymore. So it really is like the centerpiece to my whole life, and it's just everything I put my thoughts and my energy and my everything into. So I'm hoping that because of that I'll be able to be successful in it and have a long-lasting career.
Do you have like role models in the industry that you look up to?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say one of the most relevant ones at the moment, and probably a common one, but I have a lot of reasons for it, is Beyonce.
Yes.
I think that what she does musically, what she does visually, what she does just overall is quite inspiring. And I totally understand that she does not do everything for herself, but it still takes a lot of work to be able to coordinate everything and to be the face of everything and to get up on a stage and perform the way that she does vocally and movement wise. It's just, she makes it look completely effortless. And I know for a fact that it's not effortless, and she would put in a lot of hard work. So I think she's very inspiring, and she's always inspired me, even before. A lot of people are most inspired by her Renaissance work quite most recently, but for me, she put out a visual album. It was her self-titled album, Beyonce, in 2013. And I think that really sparked a lot of ideas in my brain about what I could be as an artist and what my music could sound like, and, how to be a woman in music. So I think she's one of my biggest inspirations.
What would be your advice to people that should think about going into the music industry?
Well, advice to go into the music industry. Now, being that I'm 23 and I still feel like I have a whole lot to learn, I still have experienced quite a few things. I mean, I did The Voice a couple times and I've performed a lot and I've been doing this for a while. So I guess if there's any advice I could give, it would just be to give it a go. Because you never know if a video you post online might go viral, or a song that you might write might be the next hit, or the person that you meet at the next music industry event might be the person to help you reach all your goals. So I would just say to take a risk and be brave, as Boy George always taught me. And yeah, just start creating and giving it a go, and you never know. So that's my advice.
We will finish with these last two.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is, do you have a pre-performance superstition or ritual?
Oh, a pre-performance superstition or ritual. Yeah, I do. But it's more so just like a life superstition as well.
Yeah.
If anything important coming up, or if I don't want to, like, I don't know, have any bad energy. And it's a really bad habit. It has nothing to do with music. It's not checking up on ex-boyfriends or ex-situationships, because I feel like that's just bad energy. And every time I look at their profile, something goes wrong. So my superstition in life, and especially when it comes to like any performance, is I will not be looking at anyone's profile. No stalking, no negative energy, just focusing on myself and what I have to do. And then once it's done, I can go stalking again. So it's a really weird one, I know.
Oh, that's the best response we've ever had to that question. So
I'm so sorry. It's just, I don't know.
I think that just topped it off for the year. I don't think I need to do any more interviews after this. After that answer. So we'll finish with this. So I will have to finish with this two-part question, though. So the first part is, for everyone that should follow you on the social media and obviously download your music, how can they go about it?
Yes, so I am on all streaming platforms. Some of the most common are Spotify and Apple Music. You can find me in all capitals, Madi K, Madi space K, if you're not sure. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter or X, YouTube as well. Everything is hey, it's Madi K, and Instagram is at Madi Krstevski. But if you just search up Madi K or Madi Krstevski, you will find everything, I promise you. It's the girl with the brunette hair and the hazel eyes, and she's singing usually with pink or purple lights around her. So
Yes. I must say, you mentioned one of the best pre-performance one, but I have to ask you this because I asked this question to all the music artists, doesn't matter if it's here or overseas.
Yeah.
Do you ever forget a line to a song? And if so, how do you try to cover it up?
I've done it before. Yes, I have forgotten lyrics. I've forgotten dance moves. A lot of the time I'll have to learn a cover song for something very quickly, and I'll just kind of repeat the same verse 2 times if I forget the second verse. It's usually the second verse that I just cannot remember. So I'll maybe just repeat it until I remember what the line is, and I'll kind of weave it in. I'm quite good at ad-libbing on the spot, so I usually do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll just repeat something or I'll make it up on the spot.
Madi, I'm so happy that we got you on the show. I can't wait to see you perform again. This time I don't have to do media duties at the next one, so at least I can get to watch you perform at halftime of the Phoenix Beat Breakers game on Saturday afternoon, and looking forward, and best of luck for the rest of this year and obviously into 2024. And I can't wait to see your music blossom into the future.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you for having me. It's been lovely to chat with you, and I can't wait for you and everybody else to see this halftime show. Thank you for having me.
No worries. And that's of course Madi joins there, of course For basketball fans, or it doesn't have to be basketball fans, or just music fans in general, make sure you get down to John Cain Arena on Saturday. Tickets are still on sale now for that game between Phoenix and the Breakers. But most importantly, if you're not really interested in the game, definitely be there for the halftime show. There, so looking forward to see Maddie and of course JC in action at halftime. There's more on the Smash Evening Show right after this Day Go Away here on the 10th celebration.